also have spent the bulk of our time this afternoon, we really kind of started at the beginning in a way. Many of us were new to each other and some of us were new to the group. So it's a group that has not had the same makeup every time these meetings have happened. So we really talked about what is the value added, or what could be the value added of having a food issue area network, both internally within the institution and externally for community partners. So one of the things that we came up with as just a reminder to ourselves is we don't want to create a tent that is necessarily big enough to hold everyone at this university who does anything around food, because that's too chaotic. There's a lot of people at this university that do work around food. It can also be argued that some of those people are doing work that's at cross purposes with each other. So how do you make a tent that's big enough for that? So we really thought, let's focus on what our goals are and put out an invitation that this is a network that's intended to support and encourage people who share those goals. So that's one of the things that we thought about. What are some of those goals? One thing for sure that we all agreed on is we really want to strengthen student engagement in the issue of food. We feel like there are not enough opportunities for students at all levels, undergraduate, graduate, and professional, to deeply and substantively engage in this critically important social issue. So that's something that we want to work on. We also are looking at, we share a goal of democratizing the food system, some language that Healthy Food, Healthy Lives uses that we all really resonated with, and imagining what a democratic food system might look like. That's one of our tasks. Humanizing the food system, and we want to inform and support people, and we mean that broadly, everyone in the world, and empower them and help them realize their power around the food system. So those are some of our goals that we came up with as kind of that philosophical orientation. Specifically, what are we looking at? We want to build people's self-efficacy around food. And we think that from that emerges naturally that they begin to make connections with other people around issues of food. We want to engage in thoughtful, substantive discussions and facilitate and engage others in dialogue around the polarized issues that we see in our food systems. So there are a lot of paradoxes involved in our food systems, and how do we live with those tensions and navigate them? How do we help students, again, kind of focusing on the student in a lot of our work, how do we help them learn how to facilitate those dialogues? Increase broad-mindedness. It's a good goal, right? It's one of the things we need to be doing. Food is absolutely connected to every other issue in this room. So that would have to be another part of this network, is actually connecting with the other networks, because there aren't sharp lines. And we wanted to adopt the idea of thinking of ourselves as driven to connect rather than driven to discover. Specifically, next steps, we didn't talk about meeting or getting together or what the structure or the convening would look like yet, but we do have some specific initiatives that people within the group want to pursue. And this really is around, again, the student engagement and networking. So curricular opportunities around food issues. There's some work that's been done through the Center for Integrative Leadership and Healthy Food, Healthy Lives, and also in the graduate school in CLA. Some things that we want to kind of learn more about and connect those efforts to each other. So again, focusing on giving students those opportunities. Getting students involved in forums. So this is, again, that having them facilitate dialogues and learn from that experience. Educating policymakers. So it's everything from, and this was how Extension is looking at this issue in their sort of redesign. And as they're looking at this, it's a spectrum from direct intervention at the individual level and educating individuals around healthy choices, all the way up to educating policymakers, because that all impacts those societal outcomes we're going to have around food and health. And just structuring those opportunities for students and plugging students into them. And we also talked about the need for this to be statewide. So Twin Cities campus students, there are projects they can work on that are benefiting communities in greater Minnesota without physically having to be there. Maybe there's things where we want to leverage some more summer opportunities. We have students on the Twin Cities campus that come from all over the state, and they go back to their home community during the summer. Wouldn't it be great for them to have a summer internship around food and healthy food and healthy lives and things like that, that they could connect to their major program of study? So I think that's what we got.